Hey everybody, it's MC from Not Just Scrapbooks, and I am back with 5 cards I made using the G45 Steampunk Spells collection. And I'm sorry for the bad lighting tonight. It got really dark outside, and my lighting is not so great right now, so hopefully this will still be a decent video for you to watch. So back to the 5 cards. Because personally I don't really like looking at blank screens and listening to somebody talk for 20 minutes without showing me anything. So here is my first card, and I will take this out of the picture just for a second. We'll get back to it in a minute. There are 5 cards that I made, like I said before, and this is the first one. It's Dr. Dreadful, and the paper that I used is from the collection. I will show you the 8x8. This is obviously from the 12x12. And here is Dr. Dreadful right here. And as you can see, he's much bigger on the 12x12. And I also used Mr. Seymour Bones and Madame McCobb and Miss I'm Afraid. And I also used Something Wicked This Way Comes. So you will see these in a bigger. And when I use Something Wicked This Way Comes, I also used these 2 stamps here, again from the actually I used the smaller ones I used from this paper. The background paper came from the is that so hard to say? Steampunk Spells 6x6 patterns and solids. And as you can see, I used this paper here, and I used that one, and this one. That's about all I used. If you look at the flower is from the Flowers collection from the Steampunk Spells by G45. I used one of these, and the gear is also from this collection. And I'm sorry for the glare, but I have a tendency to leave these things because I have little pieces that are falling out and whatnot, so I leave it in the plastic. And when I open my plastic, I actually open it like this, so that if I want to, I can actually tuck this in and hope that nothing falls out. Okay, so this is the first one. I have from the banners this here, and you can see that it's blue on the sides here. Maybe it's hard to see on this picture, but I did use my blue Spectrum Noir BT5 to do that, and this particular brad was white when I started, and I also used the pen to do that. The flower in the back here, which is very shiny, is from Kaisercraft. It's one of their flower sets, and it was white, and I actually did it twice. And for the first time I did it with my Lindy's, and the second time I used from my stash. I still have some of the Ranger Adirondack sprays, which are not shimmery. And what's really interesting is that even though I used a flat spray on top of my Lindy's, the color came out exactly the shade I wanted, but it is still very, very shiny. And of course, both these flowers are from the collection. Here, I have 2 Tim Holtz gears, and I put a Prima gear on top, and to get the blue in the background here, I actually put one of the flowers, or one of the circles like this. It's a different color on the other side. So I put that underneath the gear, and then I use glossy accents to get the gear to adhere. So that's my first card. It's Dr. Dreadful. And I'll put Dr. Dreadful over here because the glossy accent is still a little wet. And my next one is Madame McCobb. And Madame McCobb, is from the same piece of paper. And I used, again, the same backgrounds from the 6x6. And in this case, you can see I used this one here. And then I used, again, this one over here. And it's on a sort of a dark turquoise blue background. I have the same flower here, and I have another one of the flowers from the collection. This brad is from Spare Parts at Hobby Lobby. And the ribbon here was, believe it or not, started off being black and white, and I have done this video 3 times because I've had problems with the microphone, so hopefully this time it will work. And this is not the ribbon I wanted, which is really funny because I had it here a second ago and now I cannot find it. Trust me, I guess. The ribbon was black and white when I started, and I used my Spectrum Noir pen to change its color. There we go. I don't know if you can really see that in this light. Maybe not so much. But there's a really big difference between the two. Well, I don't know. Maybe if when I take, I'll try to add some pictures on my blog. Maybe that'll show up better. And again, I have a couple of the gears from Tim Holtz, and I have a little Prima findings. And that's Madame McCobb. And my next one is Mr. Seymour Bones. And Mr. Seymour Bones, I'm going to have to play a little bit more with the flower here because it's hiding the rest of the name. But again, we have the same flowers over here. We have, this time I left it black and white. And we have just a regular little brad with a black crystal in the middle. We have one of the Tim Holtz gears over here. And we have one of the spare part brads over here. And this time, Mr. Seymour Bones is popped up. I don't know if you can see it's popped up. You can. There you go. So this is my card for Mr. Seymour. My next one is the one that I did with that orange card that says something wicked this way comes. And I didn't do a whole lot to this one. This I guess is Dr. Dreadful, and Dr. Dreadful is popped up, but he's popped up on a very thin pop dot, whereas Madame McCobb or whatever is on a pop dot that is slightly more elevated. So you actually have like 3 different heights over here. And then we have the same combination, a different combination of the same flowers. In this case, we have that purple eggplant one. We have the orange one. Then we have one of the paper ones from the Graphic 45 collection. One of the Tim Holtz gears, and one of the spare parts. And again, I used the leftover piece from this over here in the 6x6 pad, and just a little strip of black that is about 1/4 of an inch wider, and I tucked the black underneath here, and then just did it that way. So that's card number 4. And finally, card number 5 is Miss I'm Afraid. And Miss I'm Afraid is, I believe, a 6x6 card because this one doesn't need to fit in a little priority box. So I'm going to actually give this one out by hand. So Erica, don't watch. Anyway, or maybe I'll wait to post this until after Erica has gotten her present tomorrow because she's coming over. That's Crafting Erica on YouTube. Yeah, I'm having a crop tomorrow, and I have like 6 people coming over to crop with me, so we're going to have a good time. So Miss I'm Afraid, I left her flat, and again, I used paper from the pattern and solid, so you'll notice the black and sort of a silverish beige kind of color for the gears on this one. And it's got a few clocks and whatnot. At least I think this one. It had to be from here, because I think, yeah, see, this is, no, maybe it's the back of one of them. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I got it from here. I just don't know where it is right now. And let me see here. We have the same flowers. And then on top here we have a little metal flower that's came from spare parts as well. And here we have some more gears. And this here is from the little banners. I took this little orange banner here with the spider. And I added it here at the end of underneath the stamp, and put a gear on top of it to highlight. And I didn't glaze it because I'm not sure that that's the best solution for this. So, and I have flowers behind each of these gears so that they're not just sitting on black. And maybe my camera will be nice and let you see this. And I'm sorry, I'm like not talking really, really loud. It's kind of hard to talk really, really loud and get all like super excited when you're all by yourself in a room, big room, and like my voice gets projected in the whole room. So I'm not sure how well you're hearing me, but anyway, this is the last of my 5 cards. And this is Miss I'm Afraid. I hope you enjoyed my cards, and I hope you'll be back to see my stick pin project for the craft hole. This was also for the craft hole on Facebook. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.